In the studio of AB3 Online Radio, I have with me fine gentleman and fine lady there. Almost UNER, and I mean, not to train come on. So we are come to have a discussion. They have a program. We have to have a conversation about it so that you know what is going on in the campus too. What I say, we are not in the campus. We are in the house. We are there roaming about. So we have to approach them and see what they are doing. Aside book, what next? So quickly, let me go to studio 2 and welcome them. So welcome, my brother and sister, to the studio of AB3 Radio. No. So with my introduction, I'll let you introduce yourself to the public and the listeners as well. So let's go.
Okay, I'm Nicholas Boatin-Opoku.
Nicholas Boatin-Opoku.
Yes, level 100 student.
Level 100 student.
Yes, please.
And my name is FIDAUS, and I'm offering BS in Biosafety and Disaster Management. And I'm a second year student.
A second year student and a first year. Okay, quickly, let's go to our conversation. So, what brings you here?
Today we are celebrating World Safety Day, and as humans, we have tons of workload. We have our daily life, which consists of going to work, our personal life, and the other things we also do at home.
Okay.
So we believe that as far as we are going to work with the environment, our safety should be assured. So we are celebrating World Safety Day. Yes, World Safety Day.
Okay.
Campaigning and making public awareness to everybody on how they should protect themselves from anything at all, whether they are workplace, in their personal life, domestic life, whatever it is.
Okay.
So our program for this year is themed Building a Culture of Prevention for a Safer Future.
Building a culture of prevention for a safer future. Wow. Okay. So let me go.
Okay.
Why did you choose the team? Yeah. So I want to know. I and my listener want to know the reason why you choose the team.
Okay. So we didn't choose the team, but likely our elders in the safety offices or the safety field came up with this thing. Yes, building a culture of prevention for a safer future. And I believe they chose this thing because when we talk about culture is the way of life of people. So then they are trying to incorporate safety into our way of life. Make it your way of life. Safety. Make it your way of life. Don't wait for anybody to tell you what to do. Just as when you wake up in the morning and you know you have to brush your teeth, eat, go about your daily duties. That's the same way you are supposed to have keen interest and personalize safety and incorporate it into your daily life as a culture.
Okay, thank you, dear. So let me go to my gentleman then ask him. We are talking about safety. What is safety about?
Okay. Safety refers to the precautions to be taken in order to do away with hazards or any potential harm.
Okay. So that is safety for you. So you have taken this opportunity to celebrate the World Safety Day with us. So you are making the audience and the listeners aware, the public to be aware that they should take care or they should take safety as their precautions, right? Okay. So is this question I was in your community? What are some of the things that you have identified? Some of the safety things that you have identified, see the people they are not taking it serious in your community. Have you identified something like that in your community that they are not taking safety because serious? Have you identified something like that?
Yes, actually, should I say I'm a resident of UNER now because I'm a student of UNER.
Okay.
So I've realized that most students don't take safety at heart. They go about their daily activities just as they do any other thing, which I personally think is very wrong. Because we have roads in between the school that divides some of the campuses, and though there are security personnel there to ensure that there are no accidents, but that alone is not enough. I mean, I personally, and I also personally believe that as a human being, you should even be more concerned about your safety than anybody else. So before that security personnel is going to step into the scenario to tell you what to do, you should know what to do. If you know you are crossing the road, we know the normal norm. You check left and right. You pay attention. You don't use your mobile phones whilst you are on the road. But that is not the case. And then I know with time we are going to deal with these issues. So I realize that some of the students, when they are crossing the roads, they'll be using their phones. They have divided attention, and most of our buildings don't have, not in my school alone, but even public services, they don't have some of the normal safety tools and safety equipment to help or to aid in case of an emergency, like the extinguishers, the fire alarms. Oh, there are so many problems we've identified, and we believe that through public awareness and then talking to ourselves, advocating and then teaching ourselves, with time we are going to get there.
With time we are going to get it. So this,
As an individual, whilst you are going about your daily routine, you pay attention to your environment. If you know you are working in a hazard prone area, especially your workplaces, I'm sure you and I know the things that can cause cancer.
okay.
So you take you become very keen about those things. If it is an industrial area or an engineering firm, you know you have to put on your appropriate personal protective equipment. You don't do anything anyhow, and then you take off negligence.
Okay.
Oh, I already know how to do this. I already know how to go about this. If this should happen, you don't know when it is going to happen.
Okay.
And you don't know if at that time you are ready to solve it or you are not.
Yeah.
So as an individual, you should pay very close attention to your environment. If it is your home you are cooking, you check your cylinders, you open your louvers, you make sure you turn off your stove and then your cylinders properly.
Okay.
You don't just do anything anyhow as an individual. So that is the best advice I can give to any individual out there. While going about your daily activities, you make sure you take very, very, very keen interest in your environment and pay attention to everything you are doing, even if you're 100% full attention.
Okay. So is this the first time that you are celebrating this World Safety Day? This is the first time.
No, this isn't our first time.
Okay.
Actually, I'm in second year, so this is the second time I'm experiencing something like this.
Okay. So, messages I'm on for the don't now. My someone said, what is the process of the person just what is the process? No, I don't know. What is the process? Yeah, money. Okay. You said this is your second time you are celebrating.
Yes.
What misconception have you had? The people always talk about it. Like, have you approached and have anyone have misconception about what you are doing?
When we talk about safety, people only think that safety is more likely associated with fires. Yes, but then fires are not the only thing we should protect ourselves from. So I remember last year when we were going round having our World Safety Day. One friend made a remark like, "Hey, you people, you are going to quench fire somewhere, or you are going to learn about fire." Which I totally think which is totally wrong.
Okay.
Because fires are not the only thing that we should protect ourselves from. There are so many things we have to protect ourselves from: our roads, our dams, our workplaces, even in our homes. Because we deal with electricity, we deal with gasoline, we also deal with, in our workplaces, we deal with hazardous materials. Some people work with chemicals that are going to be later on in life going to serve as a risk to their health.
Okay.
So there are so many things we need to protect ourselves from. So when we are talking about safety, I believe we shouldn't only limit ourselves to fire.
Okay.
But then we should cut it across everything as far as you are a human being going about your daily life. Include safety.
Okay. So, what are some of the challenges you always face when you go out there to educate people? How you go out there and educate people about safety? Do you face challenges?
Yes, we do face some challenges.
Uh-huh.
That is communication challenges.
Okay.
Yes, due to the different languages we have in the country.
Yeah.
Yes. When we enter some communities, we tend to realize it's either we don't know how to speak their language, or they don't know how to understand what we are saying.
Yeah.
They can't have the understanding of what we are saying.
Yeah.
And there are also circumstances whereby people are not even ready to listen to what you have to say. And they are so much concentrated on what is going on in the country, how to find their daily meals, how to go about their work, more than what to do to keep themselves safe. So when you approach somebody and you're like, I want to talk to you about safety, can you come back later? I said, someone with many like they don't even give you a positive reaction. So I believe that every firm, every governmental and non-governmental firms, before they would even, I believe some firms do yearly meetings or
Sure.
something,
Yeah.
yearly I say
Maybe to do some risk assessment.
yes, risk assessment,
Yeah.
and then know what and what not to do, how the company should move on. I believe they should also spend time and send some of their workers into the training field, and have people come and teach them about safety. That cuts across everywhere, not only safety at the workplace, but safety at our homes, in our environment, in our compounds. When we incorporate all these things into our work life, I believe that even as you are a child and you are growing, and you already know that, oh, if I do this and then I'm not careful, I might get hurt. It wouldn't be, it is necessary, but then we wouldn't have to put so much stress on going about educating people on safety, because you know what you have to do. You have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for somebody to tell you to, unless maybe you are sick.
Okay.
So when we teach our younger ones and our older ones all these things, and they incorporate it into their daily life, I believe it will become
Okay.
their culture.
I believe that safety become a lifestyle and culture. Here is the studio of AB3 online radio. You can tune in by opening your Google and type AB3 radio. I hope you said this is the second time
Yes.
that you are advocating for it. And I think you have a success story for this. Yes. So can you share your success story? But
Okay.
since this is your second time, I believe that you have some success story
Yes,
about it.
we
Okay.
have some success stories.
Mm.
Last year, I was in my first year, and then it was my first time experiencing something like that. And it was also my first time hearing of Ghana as a nation celebrating World Safety Day. But I know that in some of the international countries do celebrate it.
Yeah.
But then last year was my first time being a part of it, and then it was a success. It was more like a 3-day program. We started on Thursday, went to various radio stations to campaign and make advocacy, and then we also went for how do we call this then? This thing that you have people playing drums and then you be on the road, chanting. Yes, we went for a float, and it was really interesting. It was fun. Whilst we were going, I remember people used to stop their cars and ask, "What is going on? What are you guys about?" And we'll be like, "We are celebrating World Safety Day," and then they're like, "Wow, that is nice. That is good to know that finally some youth are up and ready to advocate that safety should be a lifestyle." And on the third day, which was a Friday, we had people from other safety fields and other schools and other firms coming into our school to educate us. They also give us the opportunity to join them and some of the safety courses that we can take on, because no, our degree alone is not enough. This world is very competitive. So, and then it doesn't it is not only limited to fire safety and disaster management students. It cuts across petroleum engineering students, mechanical engineering, and then it was really fun. So I believe that even if you are offering something that is not related to engineering, even if you are offering business management, and then you have the resources, you have the capacity, you could go in and then take up some safety courses. Yes, despite the fact that it is going to keep you on your foot, keep you abreast with your environment and how to keep yourself and how to protect yourself. It is also going to keep you on top of your peers when you have a safety certificate. Now, I believe and then I heard, I stand to be corrected that very soon the government is going to pass on a law that every firm should have a safety officer. So you can imagine you're an accountant and then you hold a safety degree. Yes, you are ahead of all your other colleagues. So
Okay.
I believe that it shouldn't end with that. If I complete and I leave the school, my those who are yet to come in should continue, put in their best, and then enjoy it.
Okay. So you said they do fruit to educate the people. So aside fruits, how do you also engage people for education? Do you go to them personal, one on one, especially, and how do you mobilize them?
Okay,
Mm.
so we divided ourselves into so many groups.
Okay.
While some were on the streets having the floats, making the public awareness, some of us were at radio stations, and then some of them were left at school
Okay.
to go to classes.
Okay.
While there are lectures going on, we seek permission from the lecturers, and then we advocate. I mean, we campaign. We take time to educate our fellow students. Some of us were also sent outside campuses, via pray and then other towns to go and speak to people, especially working firms, industrial firms. We went there in people of UNER, and then we went there to stand in to, though we know that we are practicing safety, but then we can't take them out because we are talking about World Safety Day. Everybody should be included. So we didn't limit ourselves. It cuts across everywhere. We can even enter your home. We knock, please can we speak to you? Today is World Safety Day. And mommy, we believe that your health and your safety is more important. When you are cooking, take into account these precautions. Your cylinders, your stove, make sure you turn them off properly. You watch your kids around fires.
Oh, no.
Electrical appliances. When you are going out, you turn them off. And mobilize all these things. Make sure your children are safe, even when you are not at home. So that's it.
Okay, let me go to the gentleman. We have talked a lot. Yeah, but let me go to the gentleman. So, what inspired you to be the advocate for safety? What inspired you? Then, punish you and fast. I mean, to know what cancer you are advocate and casa for safety.
Okay, because in our daily life, safety comes in. So that is why my interest is in safety. Because whatever you do, if you don't put safety in it, your lives will be at risk, as what in relating to what I said at first.
Yeah.
So always what we need to involve safety in it, because it helps a lot.
Okay. Because it helps a lot, you have decided to be an advocate for safety. Okay. Very soon we end our conversation. So, Madam, your name? FIDAUS. So, you have talked about your success story and other stuff. So, what are some of the measures you will put in place?
Some of the measures, and I won't limit it. Cutting it across.
Okay.
For instance, our industrial there should be constant reminders and putting on our appropriate personal protective equipment.
Okay.
Yes, and I believe that people should be accountable for their actions.
Okay.
As a safety officer, if I should enter my firm, and I believe that you are working on maybe a cutting machine, you are not in your goggles, you are not in your safety boots, your helmet, your gloves. I should be bold enough, put aside friendship, and ask you to step out of the working area because you are not ready to work. If anything should happen to you, I'm going to be held accountable for it. Though it is your mistake, but then as far as I'm the safety officer, I'm going to be held accountable for it, writing report upon report. So I'm going to put friendship aside to either go home or maybe you're going to be on suspension. If you do that, the other colleagues are going to learn from you. They are going to take their own safety very serious. Because if I can come in to protect you, you should go first. When we come to our schools, our hostels, my hostel, I mean the school hostel, and then they don't encourage the use of cylinders because they know students can some way somehow be very negligent. So they encourage the use of the electric stoves. Yes. I am going to plead with my fellow students that when you are done using your electric stoves or the stubborn ones amongst us, when we are done using our cylinders, you make sure it is properly turned off. Yes, you check it. You don't just turn it off and then be in a hurry to go and eat. Yes, you make sure you check that your stove or your electric cooker is properly turned off. With the electrical appliances, when you are done charging our phones, our laptops, yes, you turn it off. You don't just take out the phone from the charger. You don't just plug the charger out of the phone and then you leave the socket as it is on. You could actually cause electrical fires and putting the whole student populace in danger. Yes, and then also with our lighting systems, when you're stepping out, you put off your lights. Because we are living in a country where we don't know when they are going to actually switch off electricity. They can take it off at any time, they can turn it on at any time. You don't know when they are going to take it off, when they are going to turn it on. So to protect yourself and protect your equipment, you turn every electrical appliances off whilst you are stepping out, and then when you come inside and you are in need of them, you turn them on. And then also with our campuses, I believe that there should be more of public awareness. They should even teach other students, not only fire safety and disaster management students, all other students on how to use the fire extinguishers, how the fire alarms are going to sound, because I'm sure some people can be in a room and then when the fire alarm sounds, they will not even know what it is, why the fire alarm is sounding. The smoke detectors, all these equipment should be installed on our campuses. And in our various homes, our mothers and then our fathers, we are pleading with them that they should take safety very, very important. Yes, because most of our houses are the spaces between them are not so wide. So when you are negligent and then you cause a fire in your home, if care is not taken, it is going to transfer to another person's property. You are not only damaging and putting yourself at risk, you are putting other people's children and property at risk. So when they are cooking, they should be very, very conscious and put their mobile phones aside. Children of today, including myself, I will take myself out. Whilst we are cooking, we are so much focused on our phone, divided attention. All these things can cause harm to us. Because I remember 2022 on the 10th of January, the incident that happened at Atiape in the western region of Ghana. Yes, I believe that we all know that some minerals or some elements are highly flammable. So we should know when to transport them. Yes, and then they shouldn't just be transported for transporting sake. We have a driver, so yes, you can go ahead and transport them. You can have at least 2 security personnel in different cars. I'm actually following your transporting car. Yes, because I believe if the company or the firm had taken all these things into consideration, considering the fact that this place is not only an industrial area but a domestic area, this wouldn't have happened. Yes, because I know that whatever they were transporting was a highly flammable element. And then while they were transporting it in a scorching sun, already it has become susceptible. So the moment anything at all should trigger it, boom, we are all dead. Yes.
Trigger it, boom.
Yes. If anything at all should trigger it, boom, we are all dead. So I believe we all, not only us, we are trying our best, but our politicians and then our government officials should also help us.
Okay, our politicians and government officials also should help us.
Yes.
This is the next question I want to ask. I said, what role you want the government and the business to play to ensure our safety?
Yes.
This is the question I want. This is my next question, and I think this might be my last question for you.
Okay, so as I said earlier, that I've heard and then I've read about that very soon the government is saying that they are going to pass a law that every organization, whether small scale businesses or large scale businesses, large scale firms, small scale firms, governmental and non-governmental firms should have safety officers at their workplaces. I mean, we should applaud the government for that. Yes, we should applaud them. Yes, and then it is the best way, not the only way. I mean, one of the best ways to ensure our safety.
Okay.
And then also with our political officials, they should also not actually overlook some things. You know, in Ghana, it is who you know or who knows you. Sometimes you know that this person has done something that is atrocious. You know, it is bad. Instead of you allowing the person to go through the normal punishment, to be punished for it, they use political reasons to cover up for it, and then the person goes back into business. You know, we should
repeat the same
thing again. You know, you're not only putting yourself at risk, but then you're also putting us at risk. You are killing us. Because it is so sad to hear that your father or your mother would tell you, oh, I'm going to work, I'll be back, and then you hear that when he went to work due to one or two reasons, he couldn't come back. It is very sad, and then it saddens us. So we are pleading with the government officials, when your political members in the big business do the wrong thing, allow them to be punished. Yes, when they are not using the right measures, allow their companies to be shut down. Let them pay the fines. They will not die. The company will not collapse. You're only teaching them the right way. And then to my fellow students, let us all come together. I can't do it alone. Let us all come together.
Let us all come together. I can't do it alone, and fight for safety in our country. Thank you very much for your time. Let me go to the gentleman. You have your final word to our audience and the listeners out there. The final word. What are you saying?
What I would say that in everything we do, safety first.
Everything we do, safety first.
So even at your workplace, safety safety first. At your home, safety first. Because safety prevents us from accidents. It prevents us from being injured. So it keeps us from any hazard. So we should always stay safe in whatever we do.
Okay, we should always stay safe in whatever we do. So let me give you this opportunity. I think we are continuing tomorrow morning again.
Okay.
So let me give you this opportunity to give a shout out to your friends and your loved ones.
Okay, so I would say a very big thank you to my department for giving me this opportunity today to be here to advocate and educate my fellow students and fellow friends on World Safety Day. And then also I would want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to University of Energy and Natural Resources for actually offering a course like fire safety and disaster management. We are not only limited to fire, but there is safety and then there is disaster management, which makes us on top of every other course. All the civil engineering and yes, now we are the owners of the industrial world. And then to my friends, thank you so much for your support, and our executives. We couldn't have been here without you appointing us to be here today, so we are so much grateful. It's not taken for granted.
Okay, let me go to the gentleman. Give me a shout out to your loved ones. And
we thank the fire safety disaster management for giving us the platform for being here. We also thank AB3 Radio for accepting us. If it wasn't you, we wouldn't have been here by now. So we also thank you, and shout out to Fire Science Level 100 students.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to my classmates.
Shout out to my classmates.
Fire level 200
Okay.
degree, and then both degree and diploma. Shout out
Both
to
degree and diploma.
Yes.
Okay, this is a shout out to my listeners out there. Yeah. If you have any question that you have to ask, or you can send it when they come. I'll ask them for you so that we continue the conversation. Here ends the conversation. So here is studio of AB3 online radio. Minute you never for na kwatwetwe nkɔmɔ afa safety ho. Say safety ayade bi ehia pa ayade bi ehia I say a bomba because you see I was stressed now. We do for na one today anya kama ya because ni na come safety na be dey na for more. Hi AB3 online radio.
Throw your hands up.